The Nintendo Switch is going to destroy your wallet in the month of October. Your wife is probably going to leave you because you can't afford to pay any of the bills or help out with that. Your kids are going to starve. You can't buy little Johnny a pizza tonight because daddy's got to be selfish and buy video games. We pretty much have all killer, maybe one filler in this video, but I feel like you guys are going to make me review that one filler title. If this video gets 4,000 likes in the first 24 hours, I'll review the one filler game. If this is your first time here on the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button as well. But without any further ado, let's talk about the games for October on the Nintendo Switch. And we're kicking things off with a big one for RPG fans with Disgaea VII coming out on October 3rd. Now, the Disgaea franchise obviously has been around for quite a long time now, and it's known for its over-the-top characters, over-the-top story, and of course, over-the-top combat where you can dish out huge damage and stuff like that. I've never really super gotten into a Disgaea game. It's kind of just a little bit too out there for me to kind of really get into it, but I know that there are people that absolutely adore this franchise, and it seems like reviews have already gone out for this game, and it's scoring very well as well. So if you're a fan of Disgaea, you're probably going to fall in love with this game, and you probably already have it pre-ordered. But if you're looking for a good RPG to play in the month of October, Disgaea 7 has you covered, coming out on October 3rd. On October 4th, we have Hellboy, Web of Wired? I don't know how to say this. It's spelled W-I or W-Y-R-D. And I'm not the biggest Hellboy fan in the world. When it comes to like superheroes and stuff, like there's Batman, there's Superman, Hulk, X-Men, Ninja Turtles, you know, maybe a little Fantastic Four. I don't really go sort of beyond that stuff, but I do like the look and the style of this game, even though it is a genre that I'm usually not interested in, that of course being a roguelike, but it's actually like a third-person sort of pseudo beat-em-up action game roguelike, and with the success of games like Double Dragon Gaiden, which just came out, that did have roguelike elements in it, maybe this is the sweet spot for me with these sort of games, where it's more of like an action game or more of a beat-em-up game that focuses on the roguelike element instead of like, you know, an RPG or a side-scrolling game or something like that. I love the visual style of this game. I will be interested to see how the Nintendo Switch version of this game comes out, but Hellboy, Web of Weird, I don't know. Let me know how it's said in the comments section down below. October 4th might be worth checking out. An impossible game is coming to the Nintendo Switch on October 6th with Borderlands 3. Now, this was a game that was heavily rumored to be coming to the system when it was initially first coming out on things like the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One, but of course, we never got that Switch version. But the Borderlands series has indeed been coming to the Switch. Of course, 1 and 2 released on the system, and they were pretty good ports, all things considered. They did have the multiplayer aspect in the game, but this definitely seems like a bit of a more ambitious title. I've never played this version of Borderlands. I've never really super been into the franchise. Like, I enjoy the visual style, and I think the combat and looting mechanic is pretty fun as well, but I don't know, maybe I'll end up checking this out. It is kind of ironic because I think they're doing like a trilogy version on other platforms for the full price, and then you have this version coming out on the Switch, and then people are gonna be like, oh, why didn't this sell? Well, maybe because there's a trilogy version available on other platforms or something like that. But if you only own a Nintendo Switch and you enjoyed Borderlands 1 and 2, Borderlands 3 is definitely a game to keep an eye on. Like I said, it's coming out on October 6th. Also coming out on October 6th is Detective Pikachu 2. I don't remember the subtitle for this game. I can't show you any sort of footage of it either because Pokemon Company will immediately claim and strike the video, which I find to be absolutely ridiculous, but I understand why, because the game looks like crap. Like, the visual style looks like a PlayStation 2 game, and when people say stuff like that, they're obviously being hyperbolic. There's no hyperbole in this. This game does not look very good. I understand people like the stories of these games. I understand allegedly this started out life on the 3DS and then was ported over to the Switch, but I don't see the point of supporting the Pokemon Company after the disaster that was Scarlet and Violet and the subsequent DLC, which actually runs worse than Scarlet and Violet. Like, this is a company that needs to be taught a lesson, and this is where I'm taking a stand. I'm not buying Detective Pikachu 2 Electric Boogaloo, and you shouldn't either. But maybe your kids want it or something. I don't know. I won't judge it too hard if you end up picking it up. Brett showed you some screenshots of the game, hopefully. It comes out on October 6th. Whoop-de-doo. Now, a game I will be supporting that is a trilogy that I've been waiting for a very long time comes out on October 13th, the Batman Arkham trilogy, consisting of Batman Arkham Asylum, Batman Arkham City, and Batman Arkham Knight. Now, of course, two of those three games were originally, PS3, Xbox 360 games, but Arkham Knight was actually a PlayStation 4 and an Xbox One game. So much like Borderlands 3, this is actually going to be very interesting to see how this game turns out in terms of performance. But honestly, that's probably my least favorite out of these trilogy of games, because I never really liked the Batmobile, which you would think that would be awesome, but I didn't really like the way they used it in that game. Arkham City, however, is one of my favorite video games of all time. Like, I can't wait to play this again for like the 10th time. I literally own it on like every system under the sun. I have the Wii U version. I have it on my Xbox. I have it on Steam as well. But I don't know, just something about this feels right. If you've never played the Arkham games before, holy hell, you have been missing out. These are some of the best superhero games of all time, at least in my opinion. Just such a great game, such a great voice acting cast, so many unlockables in terms of suits and stuff like that. I know everyone's going to be talking about Spider-Man 2, and rightfully so, because I'm super looking forward to that. But Batman Arkham Trilogy is definitely getting a purchase from me when it comes out on October 13th. Also on October 13th, this might be another game for like kids and stuff like that, but I actually think this looks pretty decent, and that's the Grinch Christmas Adventure. I'm not super familiar with this game. It looks like, a side-scrolling action platformer game, but I really like the visual style of this game, and it has like actual Dr. Seuss inspired artwork and stuff in it. It's not like a different version of the Grinch. It's like the traditional Grinch, which I can super appreciate. I never really liked the Jim Carrey movie. I remember seeing it when I was a kid and being like, this sucks, because like, I don't know, it just felt so different than the original Grinch cartoon, which is what so many of us, love, and is such a tradition. And I you know what, I'm gonna buy this game. I think it's a budget game at $39.99, and it's probably not gonna win any Game of the Year nominations or anything like that, but it just feels right. It feels right to have a proper Grinch game, and maybe this will actually be a good Grinch game, because I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think there's ever been one. I have high hopes but low expectations for this game, but maybe the Grinch Christmas Adventure will steal this holiday season and steal your wallet in October when it comes out on October 13th. October 17th, let's freaking go. Sonic Superstars. I'm so excited for this. I'm so excited for this. I think it looks great. It has multiple characters to play as. It's a 2D Sonic game, which, I mean, there really hasn't been a bad 2D Sonic game. I mean, obviously some are of higher quality than others, and there's been some dodgy ports like the Game Boy Advance version of Sonic the Hedgehog or whatever, but like this I think looks really fun. And that's the whole vibe I'm getting from it. I like the deviations from the standard 2D gameplay that they've shown us. Some of the power-ups look really cool. The levels all themselves look really cool. I'm sure there'll be some kind of weird story, and I'm sure, like in most Sonic the Hedgehog 2D games, that there will be callbacks and throwbacks to other Sonic the Hedgehog games, because they always do that. But you know what? If it's not broke, don't fix it. People like that stuff. People like to see the little nods to other Sonic the Hedgehog games within these games, and I am one of those people. And really, at the end of the day, this is my list, and I'm the only person that matters on this list. But yes, Sonic Superstars, it looks like the Switch version is going to be top-notch as well. We heard previews coming out about the Switch version of the game. They all seem very impressive. October 17th, this is a day one purchase for me. I'm honestly trying to get a review code. Hopefully I get one so I can cover it for you guys early. Also on October 17th, I told you if we get 4,000 likes within 24 hours of this video going up, I'll review Skull Island Rise of Kong. Look, the game looks crappy. Like, I get it. I made a video on my second channel when the trailer dropped for it, but it has big, large primates, okay? It's got a big ape. I like apes. I think apes are cool. It's got dinosaurs. I like dinosaurs. I think dinosaurs are cool. It's based on King Kong. I like King Kong. I think King Kong is cool. Do they still have the King Kong ride at Universal Studios? I doubt it, but that ride was freaking awesome. It was so cool. You were on the little tram car and stuff like that. And then here comes Kong. Oh my God, he's gonna kill us all. Like, I don't understand why there's only been one like good King Kong game, and that was the movie game with Jack Black was in that movie, and like that was a good game on like, you know, PS2, Xbox 360. The Xbox 360 version was really good. But why can't I get a freaking proper Kong game like based on like old school Kong? I don't know, and I don't think that this is going to be the game, but if you get 4,000 likes, I'll find out when Skull Island Rise of Kong comes out on October 17th. Gargoyles Remastered is coming out on October 19th, and old school fans should be really looking forward to this game. Honestly, I never really got into this cartoon. Like, watching it retrospectively, I definitely dig it and enjoy it, but I was never, like a kid growing up, I never was super into it, and I never really played the Genesis game all that much. So I'm actually looking forward to this because, well, it's kind of like two games in one. It has two different art styles. It has the original art style and then a brand new enhanced art style that you could switch between. I'm sure there'll be lots of cool stuff like behind the scenes stuff, or maybe some developer interviews or cool artwork or stuff like that. I don't know. I love these little sort of retro games that come back with a lot of extra bells and whistles, and I think this is going to be pretty cool. I'm looking forward to checking this out. Like I said, Gargoyles Remastered comes out on October 19th. Fox Kids are going to jump all over this because, dude, Fox Kids was so good back in the day. Like, you had Batman, the animated series, you had X-Men, and you had like Gargoyles and stuff like that. Like, it was the tits, man. You had even Power Rangers too. The greatest era of television ever. Gargoyles Remastered, October 19th. Nintendo's big game for the month of October, obviously going to be leading the Switch into the holiday season. Super Mario Bros. Wonder, October 20th. And I mean, what can you say about the game? People might be a bit disappointed with the online offering. I'm one of those people, but still, I'm still definitely looking forward to this game. I hope there's a lot of different power-ups and stuff that they still haven't shown us. I hope the wonder element just goes completely off the rails at some times. And from the little glimpses that we have seen of this game, it definitely looks like it's going in that direction. Like, obviously they've put in some creativity into these wonder segments, but sort of just kept the core gameplay, you know, Mario, 2D Mario stuff. But I do like the different things like the elephant Mario and crap like that. Like, that's all you really have to do. Just be creative with 2D Mario games, and you can really come up with a lot of interesting things. Like, that's what wore me out on the new Super Mario Brothers series. Like, all the games just felt the same, and they all felt just, you know, like you could swap between them and nothing was different. Maybe you got Nabbit in there or something to make things easier. But I think Super Mario Brothers Wonder, this game is going to sell units. This is going to be one of the fastest selling games of the holiday season. It'll probably outsell Spider-Man 2. I mean, Spider-Man 2 is coming out on a smaller install base, but I'm definitely looking forward to this game alongside of Spider-Man 2. But Super Mario Brothers Wonder, October 20th. Cannot wait to jump into it. I know Charles Martinet fans are going to be crying, it's not Charles anymore. You couldn't even tell. Shut up. One of the most disappointing games of my entire life, Metal Gear Solid The Master Collection, comes out on the Nintendo Switch on October 24th. And I mean, this is 30 frames per second. The original game on like 3, it doesn't bother me that much because I played 3 on the PS2. Whatever, that was not 60 frames per second. That game had hiccups all over the place. But 2 was it was 60 frames per second on the PlayStation 2. And this is only 30 frames per second. It doesn't really look like they're cleaning up the visuals all that much. They're based on the HD versions of these games. I'm almost certain that the Switch versions are based on the PS2 ones that, or the PSP Vita ones that came out, because those ran at sub 60 frames per second. They were 30 frames, I believe. So I don't know, man. I love all the extra stuff in it. And of course, I'm going to buy it and I'm going to play it. But I feel like this is a game I have to buy twice, because if I want the better versions, I need to get them on another platform. Maybe I'll buy it for the Switch initially so I could check it out, because I know you guys are going to want a video on it. But, you know, it's just kind of a little bit disappointing knowing that there's really a superior version that's going to be out there, and there's no reason why it should be superior, because these are old video games. Metal Gear Solid The Master Collection, October 24th. I'm trying to keep the faith, folks. I'm trying to keep the faith. And the final game coming out on October 26th is Dave the Diver. You've been down too long in the midnight sea. Oh, what's becoming of me? Look out! Yeah, I don't really know anything about this game, but I remember when it came out on Steam, people were really hyped about this game, and I believe it's a console first on the Switch on October 26th. You like dive in the ocean, you get like different fish and crap, and then you come up and then you make sushi out of them and you run a restaurant, and like it's like 2 games in one. I don't know, it looks pretty cool. There was many journalists saying that it was their game of the year, but who the hell listens to journalists when it first came out? But I don't know, you know, it looks interesting. Probably not an RGT style game. I'll be a bit busy crying over Metal Gear Solid Master Collection, which comes out on the 24th, but Dave the Diver comes out on October 26th, and I don't know, might be up your alley. Alrighty, so those are the games of October for the Nintendo Switch. Like I said, bros, there's a lot of games coming out, and this is just an offering of them. I just kind of went and picked the best of the best, or the games that I was super interested in. There's other games coming out too. There's a bunch of RPGs and stuff with like a real Japanese style focus and an anime style focus on there. Plus there'll probably be some surprises as well. NSO games, who knows, maybe we'll get some more Jenny games or something like that. Indie developers are always dropping stuff, so definitely a very expensive month for me, because a lot of these games I'm going to have to buy. I'm trying to get my review copies, but Nintendo doesn't give me anything. Maybe Sega will throw me a bone. That's why I'm a Sega YouTuber. Let me know what games you plan on picking up in the comments section down below. Let me know what games you feel I might have missed and deserve some coverage. Let your fellow brethren and sister-in know. I don't think that's a word, but we made it a word here on RGT. And like I said, we hit 4,000 likes in 24 hours. I'll review Kong Skull Island and cry into my cereal about it. And as always, guys, thank you for checking out this video. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, hit the like bell. Hit the like bell, that's not a thing. Hit the like, ring the bell, share the video with your friends so we hit 4K likes on the video in 24 hours. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Later.